All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rugby Ascendant segment of Chris Wyatt Africa and Rugby Ascendant, the channel itself. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. My special guest is Jason Damm from Rugby ATL. Jason, hoe gaan het?
Lekker en jij?
Oh, well
a little
done.
bit of American in here.
There you go. Well done.
With the Afrikaans.
Yeah, we're having a little fun because Jason plays on a team with 44 million South Africans.
Yeah. English is not the first language.
No, although the next year, I think the lineouts will be in Afrikaans.
Yeah, exactly. It happens every once in a while.
No doubt about it. No, I have seen on the pitch out there attending the games, I've heard guys talking to each other in Afrikaans, and I'm sure the rest of the squad's like, what?
Yeah, we just give them a look, Come on, boys.
Now,
English for a second.
There you go. Help us out. Can you help a brother out? We are in America.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, speaking of being in America, Jason, you are a proud American yourself.
Yeah, born and raised. And I was born in Marietta, Georgia, which is where Rugby ATL is based, and raised in South Carolina, right up under Charlotte, North Carolina. So, yeah, full-blooded American here.
So now you when you went to university, I think you went to a place that I haven't interviewed anybody in rugby that said that they went to Clemson, but you went to the Clemson Tigers, did you not?
That's right. Yeah, Clemson University. Loved it there. Played for 4 years under 2 different coaches. So great experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Okay, excellent. That's pretty cool.
Go.
Now, you study biological sciences?
Mm-hmm. Biological sciences. I always liked the scientific research. So I spent some time in college doing some of that. And then, after I graduated, looking for jobs in that. It's a pretty competitive field. And I thought, let me give this rugby a shot too. Taught a little science afterwards, but rugby was calling me.
So you've taught what, high school or?
Yeah, high school science outside of Columbia, South Carolina.
What was that certification like? One of the reasons I'm not a high school teacher is as a history student, I had to spend a whole other year in college just to qualify to be a history teacher because I was focused on Africa and Europe, and they no, you got to have American history.
Yeah, I guess that would be true for that. The thing for science is they're just really hungry for science and math teachers. So if you have a science or math degree, and getting you into the certification process is pretty smooth. I mean, I took the job in late December, and then I was classroom certified by mid-January, which isn't the full teacher certification, but it is what allows you to, if I would have kept teaching for that full year, then I would have been fully certified.
Well, what's it like? Did you enjoy teaching? I mean, I've always enjoyed teaching. I've taught undergraduate and postgraduate level. I enjoy it, but those are adults who most of the time want to be there. Sometimes they have to be, but kids in high school have to be there. What was that like?
Yeah, so that was a big learning experience for me, especially you're in university and you kind of get used to that system. And then when you go back to teach high school, it's like, oh yeah, most of these kids, aren't that interested in learning about the ocean or chemistry. But so I just try to make it interesting. I remember the things that made me fall in love with science was like the labs, doing stuff and experiments. That's the best part of science. So I just tried to incorporate as much of that as possible to keep the kids interested. I think I hooked a couple of them, which is, always the goal.
Well, I always enjoyed science. I'm a huge astronomy fan, but unfortunately for me, I discovered that when I started doing astronomy in college, that you have to have math skills for astronomy.
Yeah.
That was not my strong suit. So I kind of remained an amateur astronomer, physicist, and not an actual one. So let me ask this question about biological sciences. What exactly is that field? I mean, is that something where somebody goes into chemistry or the chemical industry or pharmaceuticals or something like that?
So biological sciences is like fairly general, especially at Clemson. You have people in there who want to go to med school. You have other people who want to go into like fisheries or agriculture. And then you have kind of the people in between who want to, like me, kind of the ecology vibe or like physiology, just like scientific research. I was more partial to the animals over the plants. Plants aren't as they don't get me going as much as the animals. You can look at a plant all day and it doesn't do much for me.
Yeah, it doesn't really change or do anything. So fair enough.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Okay, so you probably weren't expecting all these questions about your teaching career, but
no, I love it.
It's it is fascinating. I think it's nice to see an aspect of you, because if people see you out there on the pitch, man, you're a big guy and you're making things happen out there in rugby. So they probably would not associate this interest in science with you. Let me ask you this question. This is something that always frustrates me and we're not going to get into climate change and all the others, the people that are debating about, but when I hear people say the science is settled, I always cringe, because that seems to be the most unscientific statement to make, because science is never settled, because you have a hypothesis, you test it, and you prove whether it's true or not, and then you move from there. So you've probably heard that phrase. Do you have the same reaction when you hear the science is settled?
Yeah, I mean, the scientific method can be applied to all aspects of life, right? So like, as someone who studied the sciences, you kind of get it. And, and not getting political, but in the past year, we've seen a lot of the scientific method in place with, this global pandemic, and kind of searching, seeing what's working, seeing what is best. And, I think having a good grasp of how scientific research or just any sort of research is done can apply to different areas. I use the scientific method on the rugby pitch, have a defender in front of me, try to give him an inside outside step. All right, that didn't work so well. Maybe next time I'm just going to go hard outside, it's a trial and error.
No, I love that approach. That's awesome. So let's get to rugby here. So now you've played a bit of rugby already. You were originally signed, I think, in Major League Rugby with the Glendale Raptors. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, first year was with their second year of the MLR, signed with the Raptors.
Yeah, that's there's a lot of guys at Rugby ATL. They either have links to life, to the Raptors, or to South Africa. I think there must be some kind of mafioso thing going on here.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some strings being pulled at the top. They had the things that they like.
Definitely some pipelines there. Well, it seems to be working. Look, you guys are doing really well. 10-4 right now, 2 games left, and the playoffs are looming ahead. And you had a lot of favors done for you this weekend as the Free Jacks took out Rugby United New York in a bit of a shocker up there in what looked like a rainstorm in Bangladesh, a tropical rainstorm there. It was a tough game to watch. I'm sure it was harder to play. And then last night in Los Angeles, wow, NOLA, a depleted NOLA squad shocks LA. That was something else. So now Rugby United New York is probably no longer looking at trying to catch you. They're trying to stay in the hunt just to get a spot. Yeah.
I mean, things really got shaken up this weekend. That's one of the best things about this league is nothing is set in stone. There's the parity across the board is fantastic this year, and I think we're seeing a lot of teams maybe get underestimated because they lose a couple guys. But if you have a good structure in place, you have a good environment, then things don't change too much when you bring new guys in.
Absolutely. Now, you also played sevens. Did you play in the Las Vegas Sevens Invitational?
Yeah, I played sevens in college. I was about 25 pounds lighter then. Okay. I have somebody who always hit me up about wanting to play sevens in the off season. I'm like, I'm not dropping back down to sevens weight because I don't play sevens at 245. That's too much meat moving around the field.
Now you'll kill yourself just getting from one side to the other with all that.
Yeah, exactly.
But so you were there in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, in Vegas.
2017. Yeah, we that was actually probably our best sevens tournament. We made it to the finals. And we played Lindenwood in the finals and lost to them. But yeah, it was a great experience. I mean, sevens is just, it's a lot of fun. Especially you can get really hot, and when you have a really good group of guys, chemistry is so important. And when there's only 7 guys on the field,
No, absolutely. And it's a track meet. You really can't make a mistake, and you really got to cover each other. I mean, in 15s, if someone makes an error, someone may be able to pick it up, but that's not this. It's the same size pitch. It's a lot of ground to cover. And, it's interesting because you talk about that watching the Eagles when they were winning the Vegas Sevens a couple years ago. And we saw that Mike Friday had to figure out when he could play Carlin Isles and when he could play Perry Baker, both of whom are just, amazing and top of their field. But oddly enough, when they're both on the pitch at the same time, it didn't work as well. And Mike Friday realized that. So he had to, and people are like, why is it Perry Baker out there? Why is it Carlin Isles out there? Well, watch the game and you'll see that you got to have the right chemistry, which was what you just talked about.
Yeah. You got to make sure that team composition is what you need, so sometimes you can't have all your best players on the pitch at the same time.
So how are you enjoying this season here with Rugby Atlanta? I mean, I would imagine you are enjoying it. It's been a heck of a season.
Yeah, I mean, things are always nice when it's going well. But I think we've done a great job with our culture here. I mean, we have a great group of guys, which is super important to me. Like, the having team chemistry and a good team culture. Everyone likes everyone. Everyone wants to hang out. So I think you see that a lot of times. When a team is doing well on the field, it's because off the field, all the guys kind of get on really well. And I don't know. I'm super appreciative of that this season, and it's been a tough year with COVID and things like that. But we've all kind of it's brought us all closer.
No, it definitely has been an unusual season. You had I would say a little bit of a bumpy start to the season, but team didn't seem to get down. You stuck together and worked through it, and just to continue to improve and go from strength to strength as the season has gone on there. So 2 games left, and then the playoffs loom. How you feeling about the playoffs? You think you guys got a good shot?
Yeah, I mean, our thing is always one game at a time, right? Like Utah, they're a really, really good side. They've got some guys missing, but as we saw with NOLA LA, you can't underestimate a team because they have some players away. So we're taking, every team as seriously as the next. Looking to get through Utah this week, and then, if we do our job right, we should be in a really good spot heading into the playoffs with New England left. So
yeah,
excited for the opportunity.
Not exactly an easy path. I mean, we just saw New England knock off Rooney. As you said, Utah's tough. I've had a very interesting season myself following teams around. I came to Atlanta when you beat LA. That was a big upset. It was awesome. I was in New York the week before, or when LA was up there and they beat them for their first loss. And then I was in New York again when Utah beat New York and surprised them. So, yeah, but
the upset man.
Yeah, maybe.
You got
maybe
the good luck charm. The underdog.
I should have been in LA last night, maybe.
Yeah.
But hey, what's it like for you playing with all these guys from international? I mean, you've got Argentines, you've got Kiwis on the team, you've got lots of South Africans. That's got to be interesting. A lot different than playing, in college or playing maybe even for the Raptors. Didn't have as many internationals.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, that's one of my favorite parts about this game is my last year my roommate was Dwayne Aholele. I'd never met a Tongan person growing up, and here I am living with one. And it's great because you get exposed to so many different cultures. But it's even better when you can kind of all fuse together, like as a multicultural team, instead of it being like these guys here, we all kind of bring our own bits of our culture to the makeup of the team. So that's good. And it's helpful, I think, for international guys to have, someone from home, like the South Africans. Obviously, it's nice to be around other South Africans when you're away from home. And but the Kiwis, we got a little Kiwi coalition. They can hang out together and, share their culture. And then with Batu, not any other Argentinian players, but like strength and conditioning wise, we have Pancho and Lucas, and we had Rado. So it's like they all kind of can come together and have a little home away from home, but also bring their culture into the squad. Yeah,
I would have to say probably the strangest those international would be those weird Canadians that are on your squad or something like that.
Yeah, they're odd ones, oddballs.
Yeah, hosers take off, eh?
Exactly right.
Now that is an interesting aspect to it. So you seem to be enjoying this rugby ride. You going to stick with this? Yeah,
I think so. It's been great. I have a really great support system within my family and friends and significant others. So I'm really enjoying this year, looking forward to what's up ahead. Hopefully, some more exciting things to come.
All right, Jason, before you leave, I'm just going to leave you with one prediction here. Okay. Keep it up because this is my prediction. Eagle selection. It's in your future. I see it.
Hey, I appreciate that. That's the hope, right? That's the goal. So I really do appreciate that. That means a lot. Been playing for it. So see if we can secure one.
No, absolutely. You've had a heck of a season there. It's been consistent. You've played really well, and hopefully you get a call up at some point. Maybe I'll talk to Gary Gold, see if we can't make it happen soon.
Yeah, put in a good word for me.
All right.
Always helps.
Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see. But Jason Damm, thanks a lot for your time. It's a pleasure chatting with you. Best of luck the rest of the season and hopefully into the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to chat to you as well. Have a good one.
Cheers.